Hi everyone, welcome to another Escapement Show. It's been a month since we've done a live stream show together. I had a little wander around British Watchmakers Day 2 weeks ago, which was great. Hope you enjoyed that Gonzo stream, and welcome to all the new subscribers who subscribed through that Gonzo stream. And yeah, hope you enjoy our content. And we have on our usual panel, if you're not familiar with us, we've got JCB from Australia.
G'day, g'day.
JCB. We've got Y2K from Singapore. And we have Abdul R Watches from Germany, the Black Forest. So we've got a global panel, and we hope to bring you some good old-fashioned watch content. So do you want to do a wristwatch check, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
Y2K, you in the hot seat.
Well, I've got the here's Brosnan.
Oh, the bond.
2531, reference 2531.80. This is the automatic one running the, if I'm not wrong, the ETA movement. And this, as with today's content, I'm sticking to what I've actually got on eBay. So afterwards, when Thomas gets to it, I'll talk about how I got this piece. But this is the
tell us now.
Oh, okay, so this piece is interesting. I was looking for this piece, a 2531.80 Pierce Brosnan on eBay, and just plenty of choices. So the first thing you want to look out for, in my perspective back then, was you need to look out at what they're actually giving you in terms of like accessories, the box. So one key thing was that the pieces, the vintage Omega pieces, they came in this red box. Most of these red box, the material was kind of like, I think it's like PVC. It was like PVC, and often by this point, it starts to peel already. It starts to fall apart. Now that falls apart, that includes the card holder. There should be like a card holder that's a white one. That's got 3 cards in it. You should have that as well. You want to have the seller also give you information on it. I think eBay, in the last number of years, actually has this authentication service, but I haven't purchased a watch on eBay for some time. So they actually should have an authentication service whereby they actually authenticate the person, the seller, who's selling the watch, and then you can use that authentication as a way of verification. But the best verification is actually through what the seller is offering in terms of photographs. But you and I both know, we're all smart people. You know that photos can be doctored, anything is possible. The truth is, my perspective is, when you go online, any kind of platform, Chrono24 or eBay, if you're going to put money out there to buy a very high-end piece, it is the first step. It is already a risk. So irregardless of whether it's $1,000, $2,000, this watch cost me about 2,900 Singapore dollars. And I'm quite happy to get it because this piece actually has been staying around the market range about 2009 Singapore dollars. That didn't really go down at all. But to today, it's one of the boldest thing I've ever bought online. And once I got the watch, all right, I checked everything. You know, it came in, it was registered in a registered post. It had the box, it had the cards, it even had a tag, like a little tag. Now, I think the tag is somewhere in my cupboard. I've got to go and find it.
But put it up to the camera, Y2K. Let us get a good look.
Yeah, let's get a close look.
Yeah, that's a classic, man. That's a cool piece, man.
Let the camera focus a bit.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So
that's the automatic, not the quartz.
No, the quartz. This is the 2521.80. So a few key things to note, especially for this series. One thing is the bracelet. Okay, the bracelet, this goes with the classic old, not the word old, but kind of like vintagey look for the Seamaster at that time. The next thing is also that the dial you want to see is the dial is they actually have that wavy dial that they have inside it. My camera doesn't do enough justice, but you need to study that.
Yeah, we get the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, you should also want to feel the bottom of it. They should have the Sea Master crest and all stuff like that. Yeah.
Sure. But
Yeah.
of course, you can't see all this on eBay, can you? But
Yeah.
we'll get around to that. We'll get around to discussing that.
Simultaneously, of course, the best and most important thing is you should find yourself a legitimate watchmaker or a watch service center and do an authentication on your piece. Now, I do know that Swatch Group has an authentication service here in Singapore. They would charge you about $15 and it'll be about 2 hours. They'll take the watch in, they'll do an authentication, and they'll give you a piece of paper to tell you that the movement is original and authentic. So I think that really seals the deal when it comes to finding out if your eBay purchase was the real deal. But like I said, anything that you buy online with high pricing timepieces, it's a risk. No matter what, you can see on photos, anything, it's still a risk. But I'll let my other panelists share with you.
Sure.
Experience.
So Abdul, what are you wearing on wrist today, my friend?
I was actually wearing this Alaska. It's
lovely, yeah.
It's a vintage watch. I'm trying to. Yeah, it's a vintage watch, and I had in front of me. I got it like for 70 euros, and the dial looks really nice. Works perfectly. Hand wind movement, AS shield movement inside, and I think one of the best deals I had is this Tissot Sidral S with the carbon case. It's a diver with the carbon case. Really nice watch.
Lovely.
I've been wanting to add a carbon case the whole time, and I thought, okay, I don't want to pay the full retail price, and I was just scouring online, and sometimes you find some people that had like for 700 euros, if I remember correctly, full box and papers with 2 straps. This is the red one, and I had also the black strap. So that's why I bought it, because it looks so much better on the black strap. And I just sent him an offer, and he accepted the offer. So what I can recommend people going on eBay to buy watches, send people offers. Don't be afraid to get rejection. Who knows?
Yeah, totally.
I heard sent like lowballing offers on Chrono24 for watches like 50% lower than the prices, and he got the watch. So you don't know if the person really needs the money at this time or just needs to take one watch out of this collection to put something else, and you just try it, because sometimes
Absolutely.
you go and then it's so expensive. Oh no, I cannot buy it. So did you send him an offer for maybe half the money? Did you try? If you didn't, you don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the main points about buying on eBay. Lowball. We're in a market at the moment where it's sunk down and people are desperate to sell. I'm selling at the moment, and I'm selling watches at the moment, and I've started with nearly £4,000, and I've had to take it to £3,000, and now I've taken it under that, and I've still got people lowballing me. And it's not a seller's market; it's a buyer's market, and you've got to accept the fact that you've got to take really low offers.
Because
sorry, JTB.
I was just going to say, you'll be watching a listing, you'll see it sitting there for a month, maybe
months,
weeks, and so obviously it's not selling, so you can go in low and do a bit of negotiating. That's how I got my Zenith, actually. That popped up on eBay, and then saw it was through an auction. The guy auctioned it twice, no takers, and then I just messaged him going, hey man, let's do a deal, and we did it that way.
So what are you wearing on wrist today, JCB?
Today on wrist, I've got the Transocean.
Nice.
I was wearing this guy for most of the day, and then I switched it up to this guy in the evening. I did that today. I don't really normally do it, switch up watches. Do you guys do that much? Change your watches?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes I switch even straps midday.
I
I'll put another strap, and then I'll put this watch. Oh no, I will take this watch now. So
Okay, yeah. Because traditionally, like, I'll just put my watch on in the morning and then I'll just wear it for the day. I'd go out and do my stuff. But now that I'm working from home a lot more, I don't really go out anymore. So I've got my watches all around. So I switch it up. Yeah, it's cool. What do you got there, Tom? Let's have a look.
So I've got a vintage Hamilton W10. This is an Army issue from 1973, British Army issue. Smith made the W10 from 1967 to 73. Then Hamilton got the contract from 73 to 76. Then CWC got the contract from 76 to 1980. And it's a 36mm watch issued to the Army. So 30 small. People go on about small watches, but they're wearing them back then in the 70s, even though they started to get larger in the 70s. And we'll see a lot more as we go on in the show from pre-70s that were a lot smaller than 36. So, but yeah, I mean, vintage watches, I mean, Tim Masso said on Watches Tonight on Monday, he said he was talking about 10 watches you should have in your collection. And he said a vintage watch would be one of the pieces you should have in your collection before you die. And yeah, I think that's a great point you made. And, you know, you learn a lot more about the watch scene through vintage watches. You learn a lot more about different watches, no matter how cheap or expensive they are that you're buying. You learn about heritage of different brands, different stories, different all sorts of stuff. And there's some great bargains to be had, and there's some expensive stuff to be had. But yeah, we'll go on. I just want to say happy birthday to T and Tickers. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, John. But we'll just go through some of the chat. And we got Kevin Hawthorne. Good to see you from Lakeland, Florida. We got Watch Bronco wearing a ZRC Grand Fonds on the wrist. Good to see you, Watch Bronco. Well, Deech, my friend, from Western Massachusetts, USA. We've got Brent, good old stalwart of the streams. And yeah, Deep saying lower offers or often generate counter offers, he was saying earlier on. We've got Bill from Down Under. Good evening, gents. You made it. Good to see you, Bill. And Bill saying about my watch. It's too small and has no date. We got our good old friend Junie Johnson from Michigan.
Hey,
good to see you, Junior.
Hey, JJ.
Good to see you. And we've got Tickle My Talk.
Tickle My Talk.
What an interesting name.
That's a great handle, isn't it? Tickle My Talk. Love that. Love that. Yeah, so eBay, I mean, some people consider eBay the biggest flea market on the planet. I mean, you know, it's the biggest car boot sale going, isn't it? Virtual car boot sale. Cheap items and watches are fine, but many are dubious when it comes to expensive watches. And eBay, as Y2K pointed out, does offer its own authentication program, but some question who they hire to authenticate the watches. And some are not convinced even by sellers with 100% feedback. Many brick and mortar stores use eBay to showcase their stock as a global marketplace because it gets probably the most eyes on it and the most views from around the world. Bargains can be had in the market with the state it's in, and sellers are constantly dropping prices, as we said, you know, as JCB pointed out, to make buyer offers. And it's, as we mentioned, it's definitely a buyer's market rather than the seller's market. So I got off the internet 10 things to look out for in a listing. look at every picture and study them carefully. 2, Google the watch and research as much as possible before buying. 3, does the information in the listing seem detailed, accurate, and fair in comparison to the pictures, price, and other listings? 4, if the pictures are unclear, politely ask for more pictures if they do not show full coverage of the watch. 5, what is the seller's feedback like? Look at past comments from buyers. 6, what else does the seller have on sale? 7, does the listing contain all the necessary information regarding condition, performance, originality of the watch, and service history? 8, make a note of the seller's location and avoid buying from locations or countries that are known for Franken watches, counterfeits, or bad postage services, which is a very good point. 9, if you ask the seller any questions, what is their attitude in responding? And 10, make a note of the return policy, shipping, and tax fees before buying. So some good points there. I mean, I stay away from certain countries, Italy being one for the postage, really bad postage there. Originality, you're going to come across a lot of things. You're going to come across redials, repainted dials, Franken watches, bits of pieces watches. You're going to come across all sorts of things. Watches that don't work. You might be able to, if you're a budding watchmaker, you may be able to pick up a watch that doesn't work, and you can start fixing it. But beware if you're not. You may read the description. And just 10 questions to ask before buying online. How well is the watch performing in terms of timekeeping accuracy?
Yeah.
2, do the functions and complications work correctly by bezel, crown, date, manual, or automatic winding? 3, have there been any changes to the watch since its purchase? That's a good one. 4, are all parts original? If not, what has been changed? 5, when was the watch last serviced?
It's a big one.
A lot of people aren't bothered about that. A lot of people, that's the main concern. Has it been serviced? Is there paperwork with that? 6, why is the seller selling the watch? That's an optional question, but I mean, it's not that important. Not really that important. 7, does the watch come with any papers, manuals, boxes, or packaging? We usually see that in the description.
Yeah,
8,
should be in the description.
Is the strap bracelet original to the watch or aftermarket? Again, should be in the description. 9, has the watch ever been repaired in any way? And 10, are the pictures in the listing of the actual watch that is for sale? That's a very good one. I mean, some people take stock pictures off the internet and just put a picture of a watch. You got to know, is it the actual watch that's for sale? So, I mean,
I go one step further and I get them to actually send me a photo with them writing their name and the date next to it as well. So, like, you can see that they've taken the photo then of the watch.
Bill saying, buying a junk watch and becoming a watchmaker is like buying a clapped out classic car and think you become a mechanic. True, Bill, true. Yeah, but there are people who are budding watchmakers. I'm not saying we all are. Not at all, not in the slightest. I'm just saying some people want to take the hobby a bit further and, maybe sort of get into fixing. So I've got a lot of watches to go through, and we're starting at cheapest and working our way through prices. So we're going to go quick fire, and we're going to give our opinions on these watches, and sort of say what we think about these. So first up, a 970 Sakura, which is a brand owned by Breitling, I believe. Jump Hour, 37 mil. This ended at £99. It wasn't working. As I say, you can pick up things which don't work. The working examples go for between £250 to £300 for a working version. I quite like these Jump Hours. What do we think?
The issue is not working. It will cost you a lot of money to get them work, because I had the same issue. If you get it under $50, perfect. More than that, don't get it. It will cost you a lot of money in fixing.
Yeah, good point.
What's the hand in the middle for?
I think that's a second counter.
Oh, okay.
Just second hand.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, not my cuppa. This watch, very 70s. Yeah, and
like Bill says, a horror only a mother would love.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, Bill. It's pretty funky, man. Too much funk for me.
Okay, too much funk for you, though. Get rid of that one. I'll just try to stack a variety of watches. I mean, basically,
cool.
what watches I like. A lot of 40s, 50s, and 70s watches you'll see here.
Cool. And you've pulled these all off current listings. I'm
current listings and ones that sold in the past 2 weeks. So here's a 960 Omega Seamaster with a Ranchero dial.
Oh, I love this.
This one went for 204. This is £240, but it is a Franken watch, I believe, because of the replay style, replay service style. So a Ranchero would usually be about £2,000 to £3,000, depending on condition. This sold for £240. So there's no way this is a real Ranchero.
Okay. 200. Yeah.
This is probably about 35 millimeters. Yeah. So this is definitely a Franken of sorts. So beware of Frankens. But if you like the design and you're not bothered about it being original, I mean, it's a nice watch. What do we think?
Yeah, I was all on board until you said it was a Franken. Like, what? So
well, only Franken in there. It's had a replay service style.
Why is that all? How much was it?
It did £250.
That's the main attraction of the watch. Like, that's the only thing I thought. That looks very unique. I never saw it before, and that's the fake part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it wouldn't have had this style originally. It's a watch that wouldn't have had this style, so it's had a Ranchero service style put on it to make it look like a Ranchero.
The thing about this one, Thomas, I have to first warn the buyers is that there is plenty of all this, and I'm not trying to specifically target one country, but I did once actually buy one of these so-called Franken watches, and most of it came from India. One came from India, and also in Eastern Europe. I don't know if any of you know, but there's a lot that's coming out of Romania. I think Romania and a few other Eastern European bloc countries. What am I saying, Eastern Europe? They used to come up from there, and there are a lot of Franken watches. So if you see that, when you look at the photos, it says it's a model of this. So in that case, you have Ranchero, right? And it says Ranchero. You need to do the research about what makes a Ranchero unique. If you don't do your research, it can be what it is looking outside, but something else on the inside is not what it is. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah, I mean, Esoteric saying he had one of these. Very cool. Bill, we've got Bill's seal of approval on this one. It's okay. It's not fake. So,
but if this has had a genuine Amiga Seamaster movement, Seamaster case, and it's just got round Giro service dial for what? £250?
£240. Yeah.
Fuck, that's a bargain then, really.
It is. I mean, if you like the look and you want that sort of look, and you're not too bothered about being a real ranchero, you got a good deal on your hands. You got a deal.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Jerry was saying I had the same situation experience with India, Ukraine before the war. Also, they used to send also like some kind of Romania as well. And the issue was that they were saying, just painted the dial, right? Or we just retouched the dial. And I got one Oris and I opened it and I took all the pieces out. And some pieces in the movement weren't from the movement, if you know what I mean. They looked very suspicious. So when we start to open the whole idea of, okay, it's just a dial, you have to be sure it's really just a dial. And they might get like a case from an older Seamaster, a movement from another Seamaster, change some stuff in it, like some parts, and then at the end you have really a Franken watch. So be sure just to haggle down to the minimum price you can pay, and be sure that when you sell it, be honest with the person you will be selling it to, because that will not be a nice thing if you sell a fake watch, or in my opinion it's fake, but if you sell a watch like this to somebody saying this is a Ranchero and it's not a Ranchero.
Yeah, sure. So next up, a 1969 Benrus QGW113 US Army issue from Vietnam period, used in Vietnam. £272, 35mm, manual wind hacking, all original. I mean, this is I'm a big fan of military watches, and this is the kind of thing I like. Don't know whether it's a Pure Alice. It's a bit battered, you can see. It's got a bit of, it's taken a beating, but I mean it's nearly 50 years old, so it's more than 50. It is 50 years old. 969. It's over 50 years old, and it's been through Vietnam, so it's got a story behind it. That's the one thing I like about vintage watches. They have stories, you know. They've got. It's got the original issue, the issue date, you know. So it's a fully authentic American US issue. I really like it. Don't know what you think.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, it's cool because it's got the, like you say, Thomas. This one's got the story behind it. It's been used in the field. It's an actual military issue watch, you know, and it's got all the battle scars on it as well. So you know, you're getting something pretty cool for not much money.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like it as well. 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, for £272, I mean, I'd be buying this. I'd be buying it.
Yeah. It's a great entry into the world of
watch,
field mechanical.
Field watch, yeah.
Sorry,
No, I was just saying I'll use it as a dress watch because it's 35 millimeters, and I don't want to put it in any shape or form near to water because it's almost more than 50 years old. Yeah.
I mean, we got another Vietnam issue coming up here, 39 millimeters. This is a Tudor oyster print manual wind Vietnam issue watch, £343. I mean, again, a cracking price.
Yeah, it's got the Tudor badge on it, man. That's cool. Man,
yeah.
What's not to love about that?
So that's another Tudor Vietnamese watch.
Is the dial retouched, Thomas? Because the dial is extra cool.
Might be.
I don't know, to be honest with you, Abdul. It does look like it.
Look at the 18. Look at the 18.
I believe it's been in a drawer. It said in the description.
Ah, okay.
It's been in a drawer for. So this is coming from Japan. This one.
Okay, yeah. They look after their watches in Japan as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it said it'd just been in a drawer for a long time, to be honest with you.
That's amazing.
Man, that is cool. I really like that piece, man.
39 mil as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at the hands too. They're clean as. There's no like flaking on them or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. It is great looking, isn't it?
Agree as well.
Do any of these watches keep time or work, says Bill? You probably can't even get past the service it. Put it back in the drawer. Yeah, they do work, but they're cheap. They're not expensive, Bill, and they are for enjoying. They are for having fun with.
Although he does make a good point there, though, Thomas. Like that, I think that's one of the things you got to always keep in mind when you're buying vintage, right? Is whether parts are going to be available for the watch, and that sort of stuff.
I know watchmakers. I know a lot of watchmakers, a couple of watchmakers, and they do use they can buy vintage parts on eBay itself.
Yeah.
A lot of the time for watches. So I don't think there's a shortage of parts. Orange Hand saying, not sure that Tudor's legit. Has anyone seen Tudor military field watch like that before? I haven't, Orange Hand, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have. That's my mind as well, Orange. I was like, I've never seen one of those before. I would have thought with a Tudor like that, we would have seen it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think you got a good question there.
Good point.
It was not a size back then for field watches, if you know what I mean.
It wasn't. No.
34, 35, 37 was the oversized.
Yeah, I wouldn't go any larger than that. Yeah.
Hi, Muhammad Ali. He's listening in an Uber to Heathrow, hoping to get to Chicago. Sorry, the fire at Heathrow Airport, so it's delayed. So safe journey, Muhammad. Hope you have a good one.
Safe travels.
So we'll skip on to the next one. We're a bit unsure about that Tudor. Next up, let's have a look. I really like these.
The point of GCB, what you were saying about the watches, when I talked to my watchmaker, he said the best thing he does is go around and see if the other watchmakers have other watches similar, and he just buys the broken ones, and then he has like the pieces and movements. So most of the older movements as well are much easier to service by creating stuff, not like throw away like modern movements.
Yeah, so 1969 Boulevard Accutron Space View tuning fork quartz watch. Serviced this month, cleaned and disinfected, ultra solidly cleaned and oiled. New battery, £362. I think that's an absolute bargain.
Yeah,
I love these Accutron Space View.
Yeah, me too.
Watches.
That's sick, man. Love it.
I think that's an absolute bargain, and it just looks cracking.
Just so cool, eh?
Really cool. Really cool. Such a cool watch.
Yeah.
It's like one of the only quartz movements that you want to see. You know what I mean? They
absolutely have to. Yeah, I agree.
What's the size, did you say? It's a 37?
I don't know what the size was on this.
Yeah,
Looks around
Junior's
a
asking
39 or
about
40,
sizes,
at least 39, maybe 40. I
Let's
think.
have a look.
Maybe 35. 35, yeah.
Oh, 35. Okay.
Is it 35? Does it say?
Stainless steel 35 millimeter.
35, right, okay.
Bit small, bit small.
So that's coming from America, this one.
Still cool though.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's great. I mean, if you're buying from a different country, you've got to take into consideration that you might get duty, taxes put on top when buying. So, Night says it would fit Tim Mosso's wrist. It'd fit anyone's wrist. If
Yeah, the lugs are protruding outside, so it will look even larger on the wrist.
I was just saying, there's a few old English watches from the early 1800s and 1700s. They work, but I just like to have a look. I just like to have just to look at. Yeah, exactly. I mean, us watch nerds, we don't always buy the watches to wear. We just I bought a lot of stopwatches off eBay. I don't use them. I just seem to hoard them for some stupid reason. And I'm trying to say, apparently there's 2 guys on Earth that fix these Accutrons. That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought this one on eBay just because I wanted a pocket watch that I can put it on the a medallion for my car keys.
Right, cool.
And one silver pocket watch, and it was cheaper than most of the medallions for the cars, so I thought, why not?
Cool. So it's just a key ring.
That's cool.
Love it. So next up, what we got? We got
Thanks, Ezra.
Right, this is a Tudor Oyster Prince Oyster Day, 1950 to 60, 34 mil, automatic movement, classic design of the time. This ended at £446. This is what we'd consider a dress watch now, but in the 50s, this is what people were wearing. I think the crown's been pulled out a bit too far on this.
Yeah,
on
doesn't
this.
look right there, does it?
Don't think it'd be like that at this time, but it's quite a nice looking watch. 34 mil, as I say. This is this kind of size that a lot of watches would be that in the 50s, and so I mean, some people have been saying smaller watches, i.e. 36, going to get even smaller. Is the 34 mil trend going to come back? I don't think so myself, but
No. I reckon we're going to go back to I think we hit sort of like 38, 39 became a bit of a trend. That's probably a bit too small. I reckon we're going to go back to settling at about 40, 41. Should be the size. I don't think it's going to go down to 34 again. No way. That's crazy talk. But if you're getting a vintage watch like that, that's the size, right? Like they're all small, so that's just how they are.
That's cool. People trying to push these 34, 32 kind of watches on their Instagrams, on their YouTube channels. But I think it's more like fashionistas and people who are trying to I don't know, maybe 18-year-old who are looking for their grandfather's watch that he used to wear in the 70s or whatever. But for me, 36 is perfect. I got a lot of 34 millimeter watches just because I really liked the era and I wanted to collect. And but at the moment, my wrist is, after getting married, it grew like 0.5 or 0.6 centimeter, so I cannot wear them anymore. My wife.
I love how you said after getting married. Yeah. Did your belt size grow another?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Abdul's advice.
Yeah. If you want to grow your wrist, get married, but be sure to get everything with it, because you will move to a new weight category. I moved from the 70s, now I'm the 80s kilograms category.
Full package.
Yeah, I like the Tudor Rose logo as well, Orange Hand. I think it's really nice. And we've got some people saying Tim G needs to show. Good to see Tim. 38 to 42 mil is perfect for him. As I was saying, the 45 mil cubitus is leading the trend. I hope not. Don't mention that watch, please. Oh,
I hope Panerai doesn't come back again with the 48 and that it becomes trend after this cubitus, because this will make me like, okay, I'm not buying any new watches anymore.
As I was saying, 40.5 is the smallest watch he wears. Really? I mean, I wear 36. I'm wearing 36 today. Got 36 Datejust. I wear 44 mil Panerais. I like to mix up the sizes. I mean,
yeah, it's good.
I have had a lot of vintage Omegas which I've sold recently. They went right down to 30 mils.
Wow. So
there's all sorts. This is a nice one. I quite like 968 Omega Genève using the caliber 565 automatic. Naming as it's advertised as Fume style dial in red. £516. This one. Quite a nice dial.
I don't know about this dial, man.
You don't like it?
No, I like it. Is this do you reckon that's a legit dial? Like, look at the
968. It is a legit dial. Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty cool then. If it's fully legit, that's real cool.
So that's the 565 automatic caliber.
Nice.
The movement all from original, is it?
Yeah, I was going to say one of the things you want to look for on an eBay listing is a picture of the movement, because that way, if you got questions about it, you can put the picture into a forum, like an experts forum, and get them to look at it.
Sure.
And you know, the experts in like the Omega Watch forum on Facebook or something, or whatever it is, time zone, they'll be able to go, oh yeah, no, that's not legit, or it's got a Franken part or something like that. So it's good to get movement photos for these vintage watches.
So this is 34 mil, 35 mil ish. 34 without crown, I'd say. Yeah, I like it. I quite like this. You don't like the dial though, JCB?
No, I was just saying. What I meant was, like, I just looked at it. How the markers, you can see how the markers are really like they sit up a bit. It just didn't look really legit. I thought it might be a bit of a redial or a fake dial or something, because Omega vintage is a fucking minefield. Like, it's just one of those ones where there's so many redials, you just don't know what you're getting, and I'm just not sure about whether this dial was legit. That's all. I like the look of it for sure, like that Fume dial.
Interesting.
It looks fucking awesome, but
yeah,
I was just not sure about the legitimacy of the dial. That's all.
Interesting comment from
point of view. The end of the indices, I felt like the dial was retouched because of the end of the indices has like black paint. So I was like, this look good somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite right, does it? But
we've got an interesting comment. We've got an interesting comment from Timely Behavior. It says the auto module and rotor from another 565 movement. So this has been like Abdul says, people buy watches that don't work and to fix old movements to get them working. Maybe this has been maybe that's been done to this timely behavior. Could be a good point. Yeah.
That's one observation I saw, because from this picture, the reflection of it is really crisp on the rotor. So if you look at the other parts of the watch, it's looking very different. It's a bit of rose gold on the right side of the frame that holds the gears and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting educated.
Yeah, I think if you feel that something is off, I would advise not to buy. Just because future, if you have regrets, it's much better to have regret. Oh, I saved some money and I didn't buy the watch, rather than that something is wrong with the watch and now you have to sell it to somebody else, and let's say make somebody else have this problem. So
Orange Hand said it's a molested Omega.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I reckon there's a few sort of red flags about this one.
And Timely's saying they're both plated, the whole movement is played together. When you get service parts or replacement parts, they don't look the same. Yeah, fair point, Timely. Yeah, we'll move on anyway. We've seen this watch, been educated. What's next?
Like JCB was just saying, it's a minefield. So I have to really look with so many people. You find the stuff. So whenever you're looking at a watch, maybe ask a friend, ask 2 friends, post it on a forum before.
Put it in a forum.
Well, if you like what you like the look of, and you've got the money, just buy it. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the rotor's been changed. If you're gonna wear it and you like it, you can buy it. But I mean,
and if you're talking about a couple of £100, then like it's fine. Like you're not spending a couple of £1,000. You know what I mean? Like it's $200-300. Like okay, you sort of know that there's, you know what you're getting for that sort of money.
I really like this one. This is a 960s, maybe 50s Tudor manual wound classic style watch. It's 33 mil, but it's £610. But I think it's beautiful.
Man, that's proper Bauhaus design, isn't it?
I love it. I think it's a stunning.
Very Bauhaus. Yeah.
Straight out of Germany, mate, that design.
33 mil though, so we're getting smaller now. This is a real 50s. Yes, I mean the dials. You can see the white dial is getting a little bit.
Fucking hell, is that mold? That's got mold growing on the crown, man.
A little bit dirty, but
original mold from the 50s, JCB.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's oxidization on the over there, I think. Yeah.
But that's what you get with older watches. I mean, this is just.
Yeah, the dial.
This one's got the original Tudor Rose logo, like Orange Hand was talking about. I mean, what's this video? Let's have a look at this video. I think that's gorgeous.
Oh, that's a cool looking watch. Yeah, that's super cool.
Really nice.
Just don't zoom in on the crystal. Because when you zoom in on a crystal, the whole value just go.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice watch, to be honest with you.
Fantastic one, yeah. I would buy this, even if it's 33 millimeters. I would try to wear it.
I'm with you, Abdul.
Afterwards, but
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's such a nice watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just love the dial on it. That beautiful. I mean, you can see a bit of mold on the video there as it goes around, but or whatever mold, whatever it is. But I just think it looks cracking.
And it looks original. Everything looks original. You know what I mean? It doesn't look.
You're right, Abdul. You're right.
It doesn't feel like there is something changed, or you're like, I'm not sure about this.
What do we think to this one then? Would we go for it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
50-50. Yeah.
50-50.
Yep.
Okay. Move on. So you can see, but the cheaper watches tend to be these older 50s sort of inspired, not inspired, but 50s watches, which are smaller. This is a really nice Longines 948. Longines Calatrava, oversized at 37mm. Manual wound. This is from Italy, though, so as I said, can be dodgy in postage. I love the numerals on this. I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
And this is going for
Love that
this
watch.
is going for £628 or €750. But it looks absolutely phenomenal. This and it's a jumbo size, so it's a 37mm. I've got a jumbo Omega, which is 37mm, and it wears beautifully. But this looks cracking, I think.
It's probably
Really
my favorite.
nice.
That's my favorite one so far, I reckon, Tom. It's just
Yeah.
a beautiful looking watch.
Yeah, me as well. Like you said, the numerals look so unique. You know, they look really cool, and the lug construction, the size, it's a perfect watch that you can wear in the modern day, every day to the office. It will look like it's a modern watch. Nobody will bat an eye and tell you, oh, that's a 34mm or whatever. Looks really nice. The size is perfect.
Yeah, and there's a movement. I don't know what timely behavior thinks to that movement. At least the regulator's in the middle, so it's you can see this. It's not too fast or too slow. But what do you think to that timely? Is that any good? Looks clean enough to me.
Looks quite all right, aside from the normal wear and tear. Wear and tear is normal on the
for a 1948 watch. I think that looks pretty good, pretty damn good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's definitely serviced. It's definitely serviced and cleaned, you know.
Pretty damn good. But yeah, I mean, I just love those numerals. I mean, as you say, it's probably one of the nicest we've seen yet.
Yeah, super cool. What was that? £600?
£628. Yeah, Orange Hand saying the movement's pretty nice finishing.
Yeah.
Timely saying the dial looks funny. Hi Patel, hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hey Tan.
How are you?
Oh, Timely saying he thinks it was redialed a long time ago.
Oh,
interesting. Possibly. We'll move on. Now we're getting into a bit more modern watches now. Well, this one's a modern one. A 1988 7A28-7120. This is a Gen 1 RAF pilots issued quartz chronograph. So this is a quartz watch, but it's army issued. It's a beauty. I own one of these.
Can you tell the guys the story, Tom, of how you got your one? It's the best story. I love it.
I was 17. I was at sixth form college, and I had a friend whose dad was a helicopter pilot, and these were issued to helicopter pilots. And he was a helicopter pilot in the Army Air Corps, and his dad had one of these, and he pinched it off his dad and sold it to me for £7, which was priced for he wanted for 2 packs of cigarettes.
You wanted some cigarettes. So
he wanted some cigarettes. They sold me his dad's army issue watch for £7.
man,
So I got this for £7. I got one of these for £7, and
And
I've still got it.
how much is this listing on eBay for now?
This is listed for £695, which is cheap because these go for about £900 normally. So this is one of the cheaper ones.
I was going to say about £1,000 is sort of.
Yeah, these go for about £900 normally, £1,000. But yeah, they're cracking watches, great watches. I mean, you just see the head there. Fixed bars. Great watch.
Yep. So cool.
So is this a good deal, do you think? $695? Would you go for this, anyone?
That's a buy me now deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say, like, because the one thing that I have on search on my eBay that I'm constantly searching for is Seiko 7A. I put 7A because I look at 7A 28s, 7A 38s, like that whole range, like that whole.
It was the first quartz analog chronograph, wasn't
it? Yeah, it's just such that was such a cool little niche. But the prices that are being charged now for what is essentially a quartz, like an 80s quartz watch, I just can't bring myself to spend that sort of money on a vintage quartz piece. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're super cool. I get it. Like, they're great. But when you compare it to the price of like a modern quartz Seiko watch, which is selling for $200-$300, maybe thousands. I just can't justify the price in my head.
Fair enough. Patel saying Tickers would appreciate this £7 price and a military heritage. Patel, it's Ticker's birthday today. You ought to send him a message. And,
that is such a cool watch, man.
It's
a great watch.
It's actually quite classic because for these watches, for those of you who find it bored, I can tell that with these watches, it's kind of like using a NATO strap configuration. So change the strap and you get something totally different. Trust me, and you won't feel bored already. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Gen 1. I think that's a yes from most of us.
Yeah.
Do you wear yours much, Tom?
Not that much, to be honest with you. No, I wore for 15 years straight before I started buying more expensive watches, but not so much now. Occasionally, now and again. It's about reducing the size of the watch collection, isn't it? It's.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been selling watches on eBay for the past year. I've sold a load of 30 microbrand watches. I'm descaling my vintage Omega collection. I've sold 4 of those. I've got 2 more listed. I'm keeping 1, and then I'll be down to 15 watches. So will I really wear a watch each day for 2 days each month? No. There's still too many. But anyway, we'll carry on. Seiko 1976 Seiko 6139 Poe chronograph. Entirely original, vintage condition, it says on the post. No aftermarket parts, but it's from Italy again. Dodgy postage, £719, which is a great price, I think, if it's all original. We can see a little bit of damage on the bezel there. And at the top. But what do you expect for a 976 watch? You can get reissues of these reserviced ones, which if you're really pedantic about it and you don't want it to be refinished or redialed or whatever, you want an original, but otherwise, there's loads of these to be had out there which have been restored and reserviced. But that's the time. He says it's dirty in there and it needs service. Well, I guess you can get it serviced enough. Fair point, Tiny. But what do we think of Pogue? Decent price for £719. You like the Pogue?
Yeah, I love Pogues, man. What's not to love about Pogue? It's dope, man. So cool. So these were when did Pogues come out? Probably 1970, 71, maybe they would have come out. The first chronograph was a 6139, I think, came out in 69. I think this variation of Pogue might have just come shortly after that.
This is in 1976, this one.
This particular one, 76, yeah. I think Pogue maybe started 72, 73, something like that, I think. So this one's looking pretty cool for that time period. Yeah, Pogue's dope, man. Can't argue with the Pogue. It's one of the classics, mate. Pogue is up there, mate. One of the classic. If you're into Seiko, into chronographs, Pogue is right up there.
Morning, Brian. Watches Brian. Good to see you. Made it up in time to catch the live. Thank you very much, my friend. And Time is saying Mike the Snake has one. So,
oh man, well, that says it all.
That's right. So that's the Pogue. We'll crack on.
They brought out a Pogue in the 7828 chronograph series had a Pogue version as well.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. Vintage Glycine Airman from 1960s, black dial, 36mm, 24-hour readout with date, automatic, from £936, but it's from America. Movement's been changed on this one. The rose, the movement's been changed to an AS 1700 movement. The row's been swapped from the original. It's got original dial, scratches on case and marks to lower left lug. The bezel doesn't quite look as it should, but holds for the most part. Good quality version sold for around £2,500, and this is at £936. So, bearing in mind that the row's been swapped, the movement's been swapped, and the row's been changed. We haven't got any photos of that, but what do you think to that, Time? Is that big beef, or what does the panel think? What do we think to that?
Yeah.
Too much changed.
Yeah. Like, you could get an all original one, really, couldn't you?
Yeah. Original ones, good quality ones, go for, as I say, for £2,500. So this is under
really,
yeah.
Okay.
Good quality versions of £2,500. This is under £1,000 at £936 from America.
You can get an Airman like now, can't you? That's
you can get a reissues one because Invicta on Glycine now, so you can get a cheap reissue.
I'll just get the cheaper reissue one. It's modern, it's new, it looks like the old one. And you don't have to mess around worrying about the fucking movement and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. The movement, the bezel, the loom is also retouched. Somehow the dial also looked retouched. For me, I would definitely stay away from such a watch.
This one's a Mongol.
Yeah, we're totally, man. This one's a Mongol, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with this because I find that when you,
Good to see you,
like
Doc,
what
making
Abdul is
progress.
saying.
Good to see you, Doc.
Hey,
Sorry,
Doc.
Y2K,
Hey,
what are you
Doc.
saying?
Oh, what I'm trying to say is what Abdul is saying is very true about whenever a watch like that has been so much piece has been changed and modified, it loses its essence and its soul. And at the end of it, if you can't even, and glycine, especially for this piece, I think there are a lot of people swapping, changing this, changing that. It becomes a bit hard. So at the end of it, the real deal is just to get a reissue or find one in the grey market where it's in good condition, but that's more of a challenge now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, move on. We don't like the Airman. Fair enough. And there's a lot of brands doing revivals and reissues. I mean, the Airman, speaking as JCB said, you can get one for £350.
Yeah, £350. Yeah.
This one, I'm in love with this watch. Rare Anycar Sherpa 320 with a two-tone dial, automatic movement, blue and silver day and date by Anycar, automatic movement by Anycar Swiss Watch Co. 40 millimeters for a 70s watch. Original steel bracelet, which is 7.75 inch wrist, will fit. Is from the UK, and I want this. Basically, I've been watching this for about a year now, and as we said about the state of the market, watches are not selling. Watches are just not selling. This is £969. There's a movement shot for you, Timely. I think that's in great condition. But I just love this design of this watch. I just love that 70s aesthetic, as you'll find out from a lot more of the pics. So Sam is saying the only thing with integrated bracelets is checking how many links you get. They'll tend to not have enough. Yeah, this fits a 7.75 inch wrist, so I think that's enough for me. I have a 7.25 inch wrist, but as I likes it, looks good. Yeah, movement looks okay. Yeah, what do you think of this? So, do we like it? No, you don't.
Okay,
No.
I can still pass on this one. I can still pass on this one, but in terms of liking it, maybe a 7 out of 10, because for this, it's kind of hard to make a lot of changes on it because of its intricate design. So most of pieces like these, you don't normally see too much modification.
That's why I haven't sold yet, because people don't like it. It's one of those quirky watches that I like. It's one of those quirky pieces. Don't make likes it. He says yes, buy it.
If it was a Sherpa chronograph, that would be a totally different
we've got another Sherpa coming up. Very polarizing. Timely says, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these 70s style watches. Like my dad's got a box of watches from the 70s, and all the watches have stayed in the box. I haven't touched them. They just sit there gathering dust because
We'll get rid then because there's more to come. You like this one, JCB? Leonidas military, late 40s, early 50s, lander on 148 manual wine movement chronograph. Service in 2023, runs well, 36 mil. Leonidas co-creator of Hoyo chronographs a decade later. £970 from the UK. I love this.
Oh man, that's cool. It's a bit just got the dial's aged a bit green though. It's gone a bit snotty green. That's my
God,
only.
you're picky, aren't you? You're picky.
Like, in that light, it's
I
alright.
think that movement, what do you think to that time there? I think that looks beautiful.
Oh yeah, look at that. It looks like a Venus caliber or something.
It's a Landeron caliber.
Landeron. Okay.
148. Yeah.
No, that's a cracker, mate. Oh, look at that. Yeah, no, that's real cool. That is really
That's
cool.
nice.
Doesn't come every day you see this. Yeah, it's not every day you see this kind actually.
Yeah,
You pulled one out there, Tom. That's beautiful. Absolute cracker. Yeah.
You know what? When you say timeless chronograph, the image that comes to mind is something like this. You know, like that. The chronograph,
totally.
it's just timeless. You know.
Yeah. I love this one. Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Next up, a Tudor 1956 Tudor Oyster 7934 green dial, 33mm, serviced. Original dial has been repainted green.
Yeah.
Aftermarket crystal and hand-on movement. £987 from America. $1,273 US. This is where we get into franking. Well, not franking, but updated watches. Redialed and not necessarily redialed, but it's been painted green. The dial.
What's been painted green? Is it like the minute track and the writing?
The whole dial. The whole dial. Has been
Is it like
painted
that? Oh,
green.
it's like dark green, is it?
Dark
Yeah,
green and loom. Right.
Okay.
Loom is mine.
Yeah, but the loom is like that creamy yellowy color, and then, but you're saying, Tom, that dial is like dark green, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not black. It's a dark green dial. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. For nearly £1,000, I'm not
I
sure.
wouldn't buy it. No.
Yeah. Not for that much.
Yeah.
£1,000.
33mm, 1956. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one.
The key thing, just to share quickly, is number one is the pricing is just off, and then for the think about the period of the watch itself, as well as look at the case. It's glowing. You know, then you start alarm bell starts going off. Yeah.
Yeah,
You were glowing, but the hands are no looms. They have tritium, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
useless. Like, why did you paint it if it's anyone
time
won't be lit at night?
that's right, Abdul. Timely says repainted is a no for him, and Alta says at least the seller's honest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Credit you.
That's it. Yeah, like you know, it's repainted, and if the price, if this was more like about £400 or something like that, then you might go, yeah, okay. But for that sort of money, £1,000 that's a bit much, I think.
Yeah.
This is a weird one. A Hoyer Senator GMT Chrono Split, Anadici, late 70s to early 80s. Now, the pin setting on the digital display seems to stick occasionally, it says. So
The
it's
what?
the pin that you use to, prod in to set the digital display, to set the digital part of it, is stuck. Sticks sometimes. So it's hard to set. So this is
that could be serviced, right?
could be, I guess. It could be cleaned. But it's this is what you'd say is a not totally full working order watch. But at least it's been honest in the description.
Mm-hmm.
£1,450. So it's a lot of money. Integrated bracelet. Nice integrated bracelet. But it all depends what you want. It's a quirky watch. It's very weird.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool weird though. I like it.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Anadigi bullhead two-tone integrated Hoya watch. Like I've never seen this thing before. It's blowing my mind. I love it.
I've never seen it. It's weird, isn't it?
It's so weird.
Made by Hoya.
Yeah.
Are both the movement quartz, or one is mechanical and one is quartz?
It's all quartz, I think.
It's gotta be quartz, man.
It's fully quartz. Yeah, two quartz, I think. Feels like two quartz, yeah.
It's blowing JCB's mind.
Totally blowing. Yeah. I'm looking. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what? It's like bullhead. It's like Anadigi 70s, which I don't really like. But this is like it's not. It's like a tonneau shape.
Sci-fi looking. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a vintage Hoya is that's so cool as well.
Exactly.
Like, far out. This one
looks cool. Like a watch.
I actually really like it.
Yeah, me too. Looks like a watch that in the 70s people thought in 2030 people will be wearing watches like this. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah,
what do you reckon, Tom? What do you reckon? Do you like it?
I liked it first, but yeah, it's okay. I don't know whether I'd pay £1.50 for it.
I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. I would say if I wanted to buy it, I would send an offer to the guy saying because of all the issues with the watch, I'll pay you €400.
God, you lowball that though, blimey! Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I was saying that Ripley should have worn this watch in Alien.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon I'm with Abdul on the money, like as well. Yeah, something around the, €400 or 400 quid, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Especially if the watch is staying there since a year or 2 years. Sometimes they just want to get rid of it, like you, Tom. They have a large collection like me. I need to get rid of the watch, and sometimes I offer a watch for like 20% of the price. I just want to have a place in the watch box. Otherwise, I will buy another watch box and then I will fill it because I know my addictive personality. So I'd rather have a space empty to put the watch in rather than buy a new watch box. Ooh.
This one I like. This is a Longines 960s Longines Comet mystery dial. So that's the hour hand, and here is this is the minute hand. This little dot here that rotates around the dial.
Oh, because it's like a comet. That's the comet. It goes around.
So this is a manual wind, model number 8475, blue dial, scratches and dents due to age, £1,644. This is another quirky sort of piece. At least they've been honest with the photos. They're showing you what's what.
It's a cool watch, though. I like the watch.
I like the funky watch. I like the funky design, and you can see it's got scratches. It's a 960s watch, obviously being used. 35mm, so it's smallish size. I like it, but
how much would you pay for it?
I pay 600 quid, 500 quid. I pay a third of what he's asking. Like Abdul, I'd make a really lowball offer, offering a third of the price.
I'd tell him a lowball offer, or I will tell him, hey, I have these 3 watches. You can have them, and we can just trade if you want.
Trade.
Yeah,
really piss the guy off with your offer. Just really offend the guy.
Yeah. I really like it. I love it. I think it's really nice design-wise. It's a design art piece. It's quirky. So here we go next. Our brand has been bought out and going to make a resurgence this year, I believe, or next year. Universal.
Genève, yep.
Yeah, this is their White Shadow, the Ellipse version. Historically important as it's a Gerald Jensen design, made between 1970 and 79. It's automatic, serviced in 2024 in excellent condition. It's 32 millimeters, 8 mil thick, and 34.5 lug to lug. And they want £1,547 or $1,980 for it. I really hope that Universal bring out things like this now that they've been brought out by Breitling. You know, the ellipse. I think it looks good on wrist. I think it may not be to everyone's taste, but I think, you know, with them, it's very Patek-like. It's got that Patek-like gent design. You know, it's got that. It's. I think it's a really nice watch. It's nice and thin, 8 mil thick. It looks cracking on wrist, I think.
Yeah. This is not normally my style of watch, but I really appreciate this watch. I really like it, actually. I think it's cool. Yeah. Like I'm getting like those sort of 30s Art Deco, sort of, you know, wearing a dinner suit, smoking a cigar sort of vibe.
Yeah. No, there wasn't a movement shot for that one, Fred Timely. Yeah. I don't know whether he will use a micro rotor. I know Universal are well known for their micro rotors. It could well do. I would have thought being that thin, it probably has to use a micro rotor. Yeah, I'd say it looks very elegant, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the Roman numerals. I think it's a very nice feel, especially there's a mesh bracelet, and you don't see mesh bracelet with Roman numerals with a flat profile like that. So this is definitely, I know I'm always a chunky monkey supporter, but for once, I will give credit for this piece because I like Roman numerals with a mesh bracelet.
Yeah. Okay, so we generally like that one. So someone's getting a text, I think.
Oh man.
960s Longines Ultrachron Diver with original bracelet, box, and papers. This is coming from Tenerife, Gran Canaria, so I don't know what postage is like from there. The bracelet is apparently sought after and has some wear. The watch is in good condition with a few light scratches, no dial fading. It's got baker-like bezel and has light spots and fading on the bezel. Movement has been professionally checked and is keeping time well. It's £1,840 or €2,200. I really like this. I love the Ultrachron. I know that Orange Hand bought a vintage Ultrachron.
Sick, that watch. I was loving it until you said the price. It's pretty exy.
Yeah, well, you think this is the £1,840. If you think the Ultrachron reissue sells for £4,000, I'd rather have a vintage one like Orange Hand went for.
Yeah, that's a cracker. That looks great.
So nice.
It looks really nice, I think.
Yeah.
I like the red mini hand.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? That's a movement shot for Timely. Movement looks fairly clean.
Looks legit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing been changed there. So it's a 1970s classic, this one, I think, really. I love it. Really like this one. Are we fans of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, big time. It's awesome. Love that watch.
So we've got
Nothing
thumbs
has
up.
changed. Just looks like a unique piece. Yeah.
Thumbs
Be
up
right
for the
back.
Ultratron.
Yeah, really good condition. Looks nice, unique.
This is a weird one. I want JCB to see this one. It's a Breitling two-tone world-time pilot's watch with 4 time zones. It's a world timer 4 time zone Breitling. 6 o'clock main dial doesn't work, so they're being honest about this one. Comes with a Breitling buckle and box, 39 mil, £1,857. It's a lot of money for a watch which the main dial doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to have work done to get this section working. But the other 3 dials do work.
That's a big bummer, Thomas, because the main dial is actually like, I mean, it's kind of like the most important.
Whoa, what the
agree.
hell is this?
This is a Breitling two-tone world-time pilot watch with 4 time zones, but the 6 o'clock dial doesn't work. And they're asking £1,857 or $2,400 from America. So it's got 4 crowns, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you're gonna have to get this fixed, this main dial.
Okay.
So it's a quirky watch I've never seen before, and
I've
it's
never seen this
interesting.
as well. I've never seen this either. What year is this from?
I didn't get a year on this. It didn't say. I would imagine it looks pretty 1980s or
Far out. That's weird, man. We've all been in the watch game for so long, and we've never seen this Breitling watch before.
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing? Breitling.
Like really, like
Okay, so this one I
very
can tell you
pilot-
guys.
Hi, Chili.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing okay, my friend. Yeah, time is saying it would cost a fortune in crown seals. Let's say it's a cool piece when it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas and JCB and Abdul and everyone, this piece would be dating back to 1980s. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, probably an 80s watch.
So you're right. It's around the 80s period. 39 millimeters, full quartz, 4 time zones. Yeah. Last time there was one that was sold for auction for this about 1,250, but fully working. Yeah.
1,250 fully working. So this guy's just
Yes. $1,250 fully working, fully functional.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're gonna be buying this with the main thing not working for 1,000 something, no,
I
you
wouldn't
should,
buy
he should,
it. I
no,
wouldn't buy
you should
it.
get it fix it.
Let's get it off the screen. We're not
Yeah.
buying that.
Yeah, no.
But it's pretty
Yeah,
unique.
time B.
I've never
I
seen
agree
it
with you.
before.
Cool watch, but yeah. just be I don't know. Would you have to send it to even back to Breitling or something? Who knows what? Because it's got 4 times.
You'd probably have to send it back to Breitling. So we've got vintage hire 333 big eyes dial jumbo pilot's chronograph, beige dial with patina, 33 mil in diameter, original strap running well. 17 dual mechanical hand-wound movement, military style. It's accurate. £1,860 or $2,398.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Well, like this is this is all original, isn't it? So this is original hands, original dial, original case. You can see it's got a bit of battering on the case. It's original dial and hands. It's an interesting watch, show. I haven't seen a hire like this before with the big eyes.
Yeah, me too.
Dials. And hire well known for the chronographs, as we know. We've got a movement shot. Yeah.
Pretty battered, but still, it's just a cool piece, though.
Yeah.
Movement looks okay.
The case is pretty fucked, though, man.
Yeah, the case has been worn. It's a pilot's watch, military style, so it's probably been worn in service. Who knows? But
oh, it looks nice on the wrist.
Looks good on wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't really tell there's all the oxidization on the case itself. It's only when you turn it over and you open the case up. I think it's on the underside because of sweat and moisture, I think. Yeah.
Sam is saying most independent watchmakers won't touch this.
I think you were saying about the Breitling.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because in some cases like this, you can even have a plater, like somebody works with gold, silver, and plate you can get it gold plated. So basically, have a gold cover that covers this broken case. Hey, Pocket Watch, and I think if you want to buy it to keep it forever, I would do something like this because the case will bug me the whole time, knowing that it's just deteriorating into nothing. Maybe I'll just plate it and it will match the golden hands as well.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. This is interesting. This vintage 1960s Benrus. Steve McQueen, they call it. The alarm watch was worn in the film Bullet by Steve McQueen. 34 mil, working order, but doesn't keep time well, it says, so it'll need a service. £1,861 or $2,400 from America. The hands look like they've lost all the lume. Or they're either original skeleton hands, but I don't believe that. I believe it looks like they've lost the loom, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's the movement looks okay. It looks like a interesting watch.
So I was going to say, is this a GMT? But Timely's saying it's the alarm version.
It's an alarm watch. It's an alarm watch. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
an alarm watch. So it's like a memo box style. Just under $2,400 US, or £1,861. It's quite a lot of money for a haggard-looking watch. But I guess it's they're asking that because it's a Steve McQueen worn in Bullet.
Yeah,
you know.
Like I understand the whole Steve McQueen thing, but maybe in 20 years nobody will remember who Steve McQueen is. So
yeah, possibly.
So for me, you're buying a watch that lost its lume, is not working properly. The price should reflect that.
Yeah. Good point, Abdul. Yeah. Okay. A vintage Hoya diver, new old stock diver from the 1980s. 200-meter water resistant. I think this is a night diver, PVD, full loom dial.
Full loom. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, £1,874 or $2,398 US dollars. Quite an interesting one. If Hoya didn't do many divers, so full loom quartz as well. Wow. A new old stock. If it's really your jam, I guess you could go for it. But is it our jam? What do we think?
Yeah, I love the watch. I mean, I wouldn't buy it for that money, but it's a super cool watch though. PVD diver with a full loom dial. Come on, man, that's dope. I reckon it's cool.
Yeah.
How much is it, Thomas?
£1,874 or $2,398 US dollars.
It's actually not bad, actually. Yeah, it's a little bit high in terms of the price for a quartz piece, but yeah.
Like about 1,500 US would be something I would pay for it, something like that.
You can consider around that range.
So next up, we've got the classic Seiko 6105 Willard diver from June 1973. Can get them cheaper and more expensive than this one. £1,893. It's automatic, restored and serviced in 2021. The crown was rebuilt. The crystal was replaced on this one. So they're being honest in this one. As I said, you can get more expensive originals, really originals, and which have not replaced crystals or rebuilt crowns. You can see here is where he's shown photos of that's all the crystal was like previously.
Before, yeah.
So that was the original crystal.
That put pictures if they did something to the watch before and after. I find them very, let's say, reliable source then of information. If they provide me like before and after pictures and provide all these honest things, like I did the crystal, I did the crown, I did the bezel, and so on. That makes me feel more comfortable buying a watch from them than somebody just saying the dial is repainted. Okay, but how did it look before? Show me how it looked before. Do you have pictures of it? Do you have any proof?
Wow. So that's what the glass looked like before. So that's the condition it was in before. The crown had been there's the crown being rebuilt. So new crown with new glass. New crystal. So
how much was it, Tom?
£1,893. But yeah, it's a classic watch. The Willard got a lot of fans. I know that Ben's got one.
Yeah, I'd probably get a reissue, to be honest, for that, because the reissue is about the same sort of money, I reckon. And it looks the same, and you're getting a modern, like a new watch, basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue with these kind of watches, that they have reissues from it one-to-one, copy-paste.
Yeah,
and then
it's
if you're
one-to-one.
not going to be, so it's like I get the other one and I swim with it, I go out with it, I bang it up and it will hold up. Or I get the vintage, and the first time I see some rain, I have to cover it and run away. So it's
This one I really like. This is the 1980s Orfina Porsche Design 717738 military chronograph, Venezuelan Army issue. So issued to the Venezuelan Army, 41 millimeters. Lemania 5100 issue, automatic caliber, which is a really nice caliber. Original hands, light patina, 7.5-inch wrist bracelet fit. It's £1,953 or $2,500 US. But I think this is a beauty. I think it's really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, can't argue with that. It's dope.
I mean, this is like the
Oh, look
PVD.
that's a chunky monkey. Look at that.
Yeah, the PVD version was the Top Gun watch.
Puck.
Man, that's like 20. That's like 20 mil.
So there you've got the Lemania 5100 movement, which is a classic movement, classic chronograph movement.
I used to collect watches with Lemania 5100, and I had like 3 or 4 from them. And then one guy contacted me after I made a video about it, and he bought the whole collection, and I made a nice profit. He was doing the same. He was collecting them, and I was starting by getting the obscure brands that have the 5100. And he just told me, like, I will take all the watches and pay you this for each of the watches. I was like, okay, yeah, send it to you.
Yeah, I think that's a beauty, that one. What do you think for the price? $2,500 or £1,953.
I sold
Yeah, that's pretty
mine
good.
From 5 or 6 years ago, and I sold them in that range as well, like 1,500 to 2,200 euros. So it's a good price.
Yeah.
Well, if it had Porsche design written on the dial, it would cost probably 3
Even
times
more.
the
Yeah.
cost.
It's got Porsche Design logo on it.
Yeah. Oh, does it? But it
Yeah.
it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't say Porsche design on there though.
No,
I
it
don't
says
see them,
military.
military one, yeah.
So we've got Breitling Chronomatic 2111 silver navy surfboard dial, orange tipped hands, day at 6 o'clock. From £2,348 from Japan. This seller has loads of these. Now I'm wondering whether they're new old stock, whether they're recently made from new old stock parts, or what, because there are tons of these in Japan and they all look mint. I don't know, I'm a bit sus about these. They look really nice. I love them. I just don't know what the deal is. I mean, if I go,
it looks so clean.
If I go to the advert there, you can see 2 more advertised below.
Same color, same everything, same strap.
Exactly the same.
That's the same photo, man.
Exactly the same. And they're from Japan as well.
Looks like a copy.
That's the same watch.
Yeah, so it's from Japan. So I don't know if it's from the same seller. I think it's from the same seller. He just seems to churn out these Breitlings. So I can't tell whether it's a new old stock rebuild or
like a refurbished watch?
No, like a rebuild from new old stock parts.
Whoa. Okay.
They had the parts and they just put it together. Yeah.
I mean, what Watchco in Australia used to rebuild
Seamaster 300.
The Seamaster 300s and Baby Pro Profs and Shom SHOMs. and they, you know, they were perfectly legit. They're all original Omega parts, and they, I mean, they were just a service center originally, but they got into the business of making rebuilds. But what do you think of this?
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
I like it. I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you buy it for 2,350?
What, pound?
Yeah.
It's like 3,000 euros, so that's a bit steep.
Oh, probably not.
Yeah.
Very steep. In pounds, too much.
I don't know what size it is, Junior Johnson. I'm guessing around
38.
38-ish, 37. But yeah. So that was one which I found really interesting and I really liked.
Yeah, me too. The more I look at that watch, the more I'm like, man, that's fucking
So
cool.
cool.
That's a cool
Yeah,
watch,
so
man.
cool.
Yeah.
But like you said, Tom, when you find a seller having the same watch with the same strap 5 times, a vintage one,
Yeah.
looks like a new old stock, you feel like
That is the kind of listing you'd have to contact the seller and you'd have to ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask a ton of questions, photographs to be sent to you of the movement of the, you know, a full description of his seller, do a load of research. So that would have to be, you know, something where you'd be really digging deep before you lay out a lot of money, £2,500. So move on. A Wachman Regatta chronograph. Wachman being a US company who are a distributor for Breitling. 42 mil. So this is nice and big. Lemania 1341 movement on leather strap. It's 17 joules automatic Lemania movement. £2,481 or $3,200. I like this. It's a regatta timer. Quite an interesting one, colourful. You're our chronograph guy. What do you think to this JCB?
Yeah, I've got a thing about asymmetric watches. I don't like watches that just have weird dials, like asymmetric dials. So this one, I like the colors, and you know, generally overall it's pretty cool. But the fact that it's just got those 2 stub dials with no symmetry, it's just not my bag.
Fair enough. I like the calendar on the outside.
I was just gonna say, that's a really nice calendar function.
Yeah.
Has it got a chrono as well, is it?
Yeah, it's a chronograph, but it's sort of, I don't know whether it's some sort of dual time or dual calendar.
The bezel on the the crown.
The crown 11 o'clock.
Bezel. So you can set on the 0, I guess, the first day of the month with the first day of the week. So let's say Wednesday was the first day of the month for this month. So you can see if the month is 31 days, what each day will fall on. Because I have a similar Seiko that has also a crown on the other side where you zero in the first day of the month with a week of the day, so Wednesday, Monday, or whatever, and then you have a kind of calendar.
Yeah. And watch is Brian, just going back to the Breitling that we showed. He says it's easy often on eBay where multiple sellers in Japan will be listing the same watch with the same photos. Yeah, suspect.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't like this JCB? Abdul likes it. I like it. I quite like it.
I can like it too because it's
rainbow. The rainbow fruit flavors.
Yeah. Actually, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is pretty funky. Actually, yeah, I'm sort of
different.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty cool
different, yeah.
actually.
And it's a lot of complication. You've got 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. So I don't really know too much about this piece, but it feels like it's got a lot of covering a lot of time zones. It feels that way.
Yeah, it's got a lot of character actually. That watch, it's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yeah, put it on a
yeah.
NATO with the color, like yellow with blue. I think it's quite pretty.
Mm.
If I swap it to NATO, yeah.
So back to Enica. Here's a Enica Sherpa Super Dive automatic 39mm super compressor case.
Compressor case. Nice.
Supreme Loom Enica caliber AR1145 beta rice bracelet with a signed folding clasp, serviced in 2023 from a dealer, which gives a 12-month warranty. Now that's a really good thing you can find on eBay. You get a 12-month warranty. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So this is obviously from a bricks and mortar store, I would imagine. 1960s watch, £2,595.
Sorry, what was that? Say again.
£2,595.
259.
2595. So
Okay.
2,600 basically pounds. It looks in very good condition. And there's no movement shot.
If it's serviced in 23 and you're getting a 1-year warranty and reputable dealer, I don't think he needs even to put a shot of the movement. That's a nice watch. On a leather strap, on the orange one, that would be nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, when I do the conversion to AUD, that's 5,300.
Now we're in a territory now of would you buy a vintage watch or would you buy a new watch? Whereas from the watches we see from now on, we're in the territory of would you buy a new watch, a contemporary watch, or would you buy something vintage for originality and authenticity and aesthetics and etc. Or would you go for a contemporary piece which has less issues of finding parts, less things like that,
Less issues, it's water resistant.
Yeah, water resistant, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's about, like you said, like, are you a person, like, for instance, you can get this Tissot diver 300 meters water resistance under 1,000, and you can swim with it, bang it up, and you don't want to worry about it. If you get this Inniker, you most probably have all these kind of divers. You just want this watch because you have some emotional connection, or you collect vintage. Because in this price range, it's not about just having a vintage. You have to have some kind of emotional connection to it, I guess.
Yeah, so here's a 970 Hoya calculator, 45 mil from Argentina. This one. Now, I've had good experiences buying from Argentina. I found they're very cheap watches in comparison to other countries. This one's £2,813 or $3,600 from Argentina. I've seen this one's original movement, case and crown and hands, bracelet, no box and papers. What you see is what you get. Working fine, not waterproof tested. Some scuffs. This is, as I say, this is £2,800. I've seen better quality versions sell on eBay for £5,500, so double the price. So as I say, there's quite good bargains to be had from different countries if we shop around. It's on the original bracelet. And not everyone's jammed this watch, of course. Decent looking movement. Well, as the chronograph man, what do you think to the calculator, JCB?
What? Just do we know what's happening with the bezel situation here?
It's for doing calculations of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what.
I think
Yeah,
I can
I'm
see
trying to figure it out,
kilometer, kg, yard. So I think you might calculate the time it takes you to empty your tank, like when you're flying, and you can
Okay.
calculate how many, the speed maybe as well, and you can
Yeah,
see
okay.
gallon.
Yeah. So is this like a
Pounds.
pilot's type of, like a pilot's chronograph? Do you reckon?
Mhm.
It looks like pilot's calculations got miles, there's kilograms,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
or
I
maybe
think
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Like we're probably just all
Me too,
guessing what
yeah.
the hell it is, to be honest.
it's still a
Um,
calculator watch, so that means you're really using for calculating distance, kilometers. Yeah, and what you say, Abdul, probably true. Fuel and the weight. The thing is, you don't know, is it the petrol weight, or is it the weight of the aircraft, or is it a land-based vehicle? Yeah.
Well, it's funky at least, so it's pretty cool. But I feel like it's a little bit too big. What was it? 45?
45 mil, 45.
That's not bad. That's
alright.
okay.
It's okay for you, Y2K. It's your size. But,
When you get a big watch with a thin bracelet, though, like it makes the head look a lot bigger. And I think that was
Yeah.
the
Top
70s.
heavy,
Like 70s has that
that
wide case.
retro feel.
Yeah, like that's just a 70s design thing. Probably not my jam, but it's kind of cool piece.
so 950, back to Tudor, tropical Tudor tuxedo, tropical oyster print, tuxedo oyster prints, small rose logo, unpolished, 34 mil automatic, £2,950. It's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's
So
too much. Fucking
Too
hell.
much for a dress watch, you
Too
think?
much. Yeah, too much for.
Too much. There's no movement shot, so we'll skip past this one. We've got quite a few, just a few to get through. Too much for that one. Okay. Hamilton Chronomatic, 1970s, Pan-Europe, 703 chronograph with a date in 43mm steel case with a rotating bezel, premium dial using the caliber 11 movement, manufactured by Hamilton. £3,098. But I've seen these going for more, a lot more. This is from the US, $3,995. Do we like it aesthetically, and what do we think to the price?
How
Yeah, I
much was
like
that again?
I like the look of it, man. The color, like that washed out blue, is super cool. The case
Patina
shape.
bezel, yeah. Ghosted
cool.
bezel.
Did you say $3,000 or pounds?
$3,995 or £3,098.
So, three.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a fair amount of money.
Too much, man. Yeah, that's way too
Almost,
much.
it's almost 4,500 Singapore dollars for that. It's
I
very
mean, we're
expensive.
going up in price from now on. We're going up in price.
Okay.
Ooh.
You were saying that they're more expensive ones as well.
Yeah, I've seen these going for more. Yeah.
Okay. This might be a sought after reference then. Too much for me, but I like the look of the watch. I actually love the look of the watch. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Time is saying he likes it. The problem is you could probably get a Briley top time for the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would only think about, okay, £3,000, what I will get instead of this Hamilton. At the end of the day, it's on Hamilton, Even if it's a vintage sought-after piece, I could get a sought-after Breitling, which in my opinion is higher than Hamilton, so I would rather put my money there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as you said, from now on, from the prices we're looking at from now on, you have to consider, would you rather have a vintage watch or a contemporary watch? Depends what
Yeah.
you're looking for vintage-wise as well, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a 1970s oversized 39mm universal Genève pole router in a square pillowcase with a two-tone dial and a day and date. It's got an automatic micro rotor, universal Genève caliber 72, which has been fully serviced, working well with strong accuracy. Originally untouched dial, original crown, original hands, original bracelet, which will fit a 7.5-inch wrist. Minor hairline scratches to the case. £3,256 from Greece, this one. I quite like it.
270s for me.
270s. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
I
No,
like it.
I wouldn't spend it on that.
Yeah, fair enough.
The bracelet looks very tiny.
Very what? Sorry.
Like it's rolled, like when you wear it, it will be like it will be like
Okay.
making sounds,
Jangly.
jangly.
Like
It's a bit on the looser side. It's already been stretched. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like it, but not for that money, not for £3,256. I mean, Universal Genève, again, will they bring this sort of stuff out now they've been bought out by Breitling? It'd be interesting to see. I hope they do bring this sort of stuff out. But they're going to be expensive. They've already said that their starting price is going to be £15,000 or Swiss francs, sorry.
Yeah, I think Breitling touched it up, to be honest, because it took too long. When they announced it, they should have went with a couple of releases. Now people are like, huh? Universal Genève? I'll get a vintage one. It's okay.
3963 IWC Angenois. 36.5 mil. Original Peter Rice bracelet. No significant scratches case. Dial is in excellent condition with minimal wear. Uses the caliber 8531 automatic movement, which has been freshly serviced. This is from Japan, and it's £3,885 or $5,009 US dollars.
That's even
So,
more than a model engineer.
That's sort of like half the price of one of the new Genta reissue engineers. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Get like an AMG engineer from the early 2000s with like $4,000 or $5,000.
I really like it. I personally would go for this vintage one.
I would go for this one. This would be a perfect office watch. Like it's just
I would personally go for this one over one of the new entrepreneurs because I think the new entrepreneur is far too expensive anyway. But we'll carry on. As I say, that's just my opinion.
That's a nice, beautiful looking watch, though. It's
really is. Really is beautiful.
EVC was back then on the top of the game. Like they were the Rolex of that time.
$969 Jersey Memovox, 37 mil, collector's condition from a bricks and mortar dealer in the UK with a good reputation, 2-year guarantee, which is nice to see on eBay. High grade automatic JLC bumper movement, which has been serviced. Original JLC sign crowns, minor wear to case, £4,250. A lot of money. Good service movement. Is it the kind of watch you want to buy, though? I mean, I don't think they make the Memovox anymore, so you got to be Tim Mosso JLC fan to go for this sort of thing, I guess.
I'd probably get a modern JLC for that sort of money. Like that's in Aussie dollars. That's a lot. It's a lot of Aussie dollars. Like $9,000. Like you get a master ultra thin, like moon phase or something. For that sort of coin.
We're really entering into the territory of a price war now because if the
Yeah.
prices are high, it's just not worth it. Whether you're a JLC fan or not, if you're going to charge something like this for such a vintage, it's not like one in the world or 1 out of 10. Even for us avid fans, the first thing we look at now, especially for a vintage piece, is the price, which is also something to educate our viewers, is that even if you go with a vintage piece, it's not one thing you look at is the price. Two is the whole quality of the piece itself. But when the price is just too much, but you really, really die, you want to get the watch, it's not worth it anymore already.
I don't know whether it's price being too much. It's all in relation to the rarity of the watch, the quality of the watch, and how hard it is to find, and the age of the watch as well. The age, the rarity, the quality.
Yeah,
that all reflects in the price. I think Y2K.
And you're almost getting into like the investment, like the investment question. Like, are you putting money into this thing knowing that it's going to go up in value? Like, it's almost like like for that sort of money.
Yeah,
it's like, am I investing in the piece now rather than just buying a watch? Right?
Yeah,
totally agree. If you're buying like you want to complete your Memovox collection throughout the years, it makes sense. If you're collecting it for the future to put it in a safe and never wear it for the next 20 years, it makes sense. I would get the Master Control and wear the hell out of it.
Yeah, like Timely says. So I got a 1971 Omega Flightmaster 145.013, 43 mil. Thick watch, 15.12 mil thick. Original bracer fits a 7.25 inch wrist. Manual caliber 910, which has adjustable, which was adjustable. Serviced in 2024 and hasn't been worn since then. Chronograph, second time zone on the watch. Internal rotating bezel as well. Tritium lume. 4,726 or 4,226 pounds or $6,095 from America. These are a lot cheaper a few years ago. You could pick them up for £2,000, half the price it's selling for now. It was polished in 2024 by Omega and has some of the original Omega clasp. What do you think of the Flightmaster? Are we fans or not?
I like it. I like this watch a lot, actually. It's just so funky. It's cool. It's got chronograph. It's got second time zone. It's like got a lot of sort of Speedmaster Mark II sort of vibes going on. But the price, man, it's just again coming down to price. Like, it's a lot. It's about 10,000 Aussie.
Yeah, Pocket Watch saying he's picking up a baby Anakin from the he's picking up a 970s Omega from Shaughnessy. Service for vintage can be pricey. Yeah, good point.
So what they were like £2,000 a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago these were about 3 or 4 years ago these were about £2,000. Yeah.
So what this little piece, this little section of the market is going up in price for this.
It's vintage in general. Vintage in general is going up. I think a lot of vintage watches. Certain models have become popularized.
Yeah.
Especially when
and Omega generally is going up in price a lot, just across the board. I've found.
Yeah.
I was just saying all these watches have been priced.
Yeah.
Sorry, Abdul.
So cool. Like you have yellow, you have blue, you have green, you have the inner bezel that you can. It just looks so unique. It's not, no new Omega chronograph has the same essence, the same feeling that this watch gives you.
That green subdial makes it like you don't. What watch has a green subdial these days? You don't see that. All right, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a very cool watch. I think it's a big and chunky one. I think it's one for you, Y2K, definitely. So next up, a 970 Zenith A3635 Super Sub C 40mm. Grey dial with patina, internal rotating bezel. Only 30-meter water resistance on this one, which I'm surprised about. Original bracelet, date at 430. £4,860 from Germany. It's got plexiglass, original clasp and crown, 1-year warranty from a brick and mortar dealer. This is the kind of watch I want to see Zenith reissue. This is the kind of diver. This is the kind of diver that Zenith needs to reissue. Not the wacky designs, not the
Defy.
Defy wacky designs and diver. This is the kind of watch, kind of diver I want to see, and they put on the map and make themselves an all-round, not just a chronograph company.
100%, man. They've got so many classic designs in their back catalog in the dive watch genre. I just don't get why they haven't brought out some cool dive watches. Like all we've got lately is the Defy diver, that 70s looking one with the orange colorway. Like, look at this thing. This is just a cracking piece, man. It's fucking beautiful. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I mean, inner rotating bezel, super compressor style.
It's weird that it's only 30 meters water resistant.
Yeah,
it really is. It's stupid. Right.
It's not really a diver then, is it? Like,
no, it's not a diver. It's a dress watch, JCB. I think it's a dress watch.
It's like when Panerai brought out the Panerai Duet.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing? Like,
it's a desk diver.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
You can't. This is it's not nowhere near diving territory. Yeah.
It's 40mm diver. As I say, this is the kind of thing that Zenith should be bringing out, in my opinion. Next up, we've just got a few more left. Get through them quickly. 971 Rolex Explorer 1016, 36mm. Has the original caliber, 1520. Crown is original. The dial and hands have been professionally refinished and repainted, which is probably reflecting the price, which is half of what you would pay for an original. And it's sold for £4,900, which is, as I say, half of what you'd pay for an original 1016, which would be £10,000 at least. Would you go for it or not? I mean, a repainted dial, would that really bother you that much? Would you really have a big beef with that? I would buy it. I would buy it at £4,900. I would buy that all day long. I don't know.
I don't reckon I would, Tom, because like if I'm getting a vintage Rolex, I would probably want it like all original. I think because it's still a lot of money, man. Like for me, that's like 10,000 Australian dollars. That's still a big chunk of money, and I know the original one cost double, but it's still like I would. For a Rolex, for me, I would want it to have it original, I think.
But I'm a timely. If I was going to keep it, I wouldn't care. If I was going to wear it and keep it and wear it, I wouldn't care. If you're going for the investment side of it and you're going to put it in a safe, I get you. But if you're going to wear it, I wouldn't be bothered.
I would say, Thomas, one thing is fully understand about the part about keeping it safe. For me, if I do want to wear it, there is value aside, okay? Investment value aside. It's the feel of the watch itself. Especially when, number one, we're talking about eBay. We're buying it online at eBay with this amount of money. Rolex is particularly, you really need to have all your senses on, especially this kind of vintage Rolex. I'm sorry to say to everybody, vintage Rolex, ladies and gentlemen, in eBay territory is the most dangerous place to go. It is. You're jumping into a pool full of crocodiles. You're definitely gonna get bit. So I would not recommend buying this, because for that value of money, which JCB is saying, you can actually get Air King or a new Explorer cheaper. Yeah.
I agree with you. We couldn't get them cheaper. An Air King or an Explorer would be about £6,000, £7,000, but I do agree that once you cross the threshold of £5,000 or more, you're spending a lot of money, and you got to be wary of how desperate are you for the watch. It's a very. I mean, we'll see some more ridiculously priced watches later on, but they're for bricks and mortar dealers. You could go to the dealer and look at the watch if you really wanted to. But I'll just carry on. An IW952 IWC Mark 11 pilot's watch, originally issued to the RAF, all original, recently serviced. This is going for £5,036. I was watching it, and I received an offer for this with £1,000 off. So it just shows you people need to sell these things. They're not selling, and people are shooting you offers saying, it's selling for 5,000, I'll give you 4,000. And
but is it overpriced at 5,000 though? Like to start with? No. Okay.
No, but I mean, no. This is the going price for an IWC Mark 11.
Okay, yeah, Mark 11's like, this is one of the original sort of like Dirty Dozen sort of pieces, right?
It's not a Dirty Dozen piece, but it's one of the original. JLC made them and IWC made them, and it's a 952. It's one of the original sort of pilot's watch made. I mean, the loom is shot on that. The loom is shot on the hour hand, and it's not in brilliant condition. I've seen better examples than this, but I just bring this up as an example. But because the dealer had got me an offer.
What? How much would you pay for it, do you reckon?
Well, I saw one going from Australia a while back, which didn't have the original case back, and they wanted 3,000. It sold for £3,000, but that's because it didn't have the military insignia on. They brought our own military markings on the back of the case. That's a big part of it. Big part of it when you're collecting military watches.
Sure.
So I mean, we'll just skip on quickly because I've got a few to get through. Another one from the Zenith, which is the kind of diver that they should be bringing back. This one was 1,000 meters war resistant. Was a little video of the man wearing it there. Rare Zenith A3637 subsea, 1,000 meters. Diver watch, 43.4 mil. Well preserved condition, he says. All original condition, nice pumpkin patina, Bakelite bezel, original gate Frere bracelet with divers extension, been professionally checked and regulated, doesn't have the quick set date, This could go a lot deeper than many of the divers in the late 60s, 1,000 meters. This is £5,040 or $6,500, and it's being sold in the Lebanon. So, I mean, we talk about countries would you risk buying from? Would you risk going to the Lebanon to? Would you risk buying from the Lebanon? I mean, it's just a interesting one. But that design, Zenith need to start making these sort of divers. I think again. What do you think? £5,000 for this?
Nah, no way. That's way too much. I wouldn't touch it for that money.
Nope.
It's a big one for you. Y2K, 43.4 mil.
Yes, even I also have common sense that the price is just too bad.
Yeah.
And the one thing I should also advise our viewers is also check the location of where the watch is coming from.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to be, what's the word, xenophobic or countryist or whatever your colorful language, but you need to see where the watch is coming from. The location is very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's a 1968 Rolex 1675 GMT Master Pepsi with box and service history, sold for £6,650 in the UK, which I thought was very, very, very cheap. Very cheap. Nice condition, and I think it was a great price considering it comes with its original box and service papers.
Yeah, that's had a service dial and service hands, I reckon, that one.
Do you think?
Yeah, for 1675.
Yeah.
Should have a bit more patina on the dial and hands, I would have thought.
So there's the box, all the service papers, original receipt. Nice enough watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1968, 1675. But as I said, 6,650. Was it a bargain or was it?
Even the bezel insert looks like a service bezel.
Looks like it's new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon it's had everything serviced, like the bezel, the glass, the
the price was so low. To be honest, the price is so low.
That's why it's cheap, Tom. That's why it was cheap, man.
Yeah.
Proper 1675. You can tell when you look at them when they're original or not. You know.
Most of these generation of Rolex GMT Masters, aka Pepsi ones, by this date, the bezels normally are a little bit worn. The color's a bit faded already, and this one's really too pristine to be trying to match the dated dial and everything.
Yeah, like timely behavior is saying it should have creamy lume. The dial's been replaced, the bezel's been replaced.
Yeah, you can tell.
Everything's probably been serviced by Rolex with a full overhaul, like Timely says. So if you're gonna wear it, and you're not bothered about, original parts, well, fair enough. But this next one is the kind of thing that I'm looking at. I've been ogling over these for ages, absolutely ages. 974 Tudor 9411/0 Snowflake Submariner with box and papers. This is widely revered by collectors as the most utilitarian version of the Tudor sub of the several iterations made from 1968 for over 3 decades. Used as an ETA-based caliber 2784, has a beautiful smoke bluey grey ghost bezel.
How good is that bezel?
Uses Rolex-made case, crown, and bracelet. extremely well preserved condition with original box and papers. 40 mil. I'm obsessed with these at the moment, and this is £8,750 from the UK. Absolutely, I'm absolutely bonkers about these.
Get this in a heartbeat. I would get this in a heartbeat over the modern ones.
I've even considered selling my Kermit, my original Kermit, to buy one of these, buy a birth year one, because they do want the 9411 came out in my birth year. So I saw a birth year one for sale, but it was nearly £10,000. But I'm obsessed with these. With these ghost bezels and
I went to check Timely's comment about the service dial and hands on this one as well. I'm leaning towards that as well on this one.
Oh, yeah. Service hands. You're right, Timely.
Yeah, because you can see how it's all white.
You're right. You are right, Timely. These are service hands, definitely service dial hands, because I've seen there are other ones listed on eBay which are really patinaed, and I've seen other ones on Chrono 24 which are really patinaed as well. And this is definitely service.
Yeah.
Look at that; it's shimmering white.
Yeah.
The only thing is
one of the last Tudor Submariners. 94400, I think that's the reference number.
9411.
Yeah, I have a different one from the 80s, and it still has patina. It's never serviced. It's serviced now, but it was never serviced when I bought it, and the dial has patina. So if this is an older model than 80s, it should have patina as well. Like logically.
No, this is 974. This.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this would have been serviced like in the whenever, probably the 2000s or something.
Yeah.
Serviced last year even. But hey, I wouldn't get rid of a Kermit for this, Tom. That's just crazy talk, mate. Come on.
No, for an original one.
Still, Thomas, don't
Kermit,
do it.
Mate. What are you talking about?
Please don't do that, Thomas. Please don't.
I'm with Y2K. Don't do it, man.
Tammy says, can I zoom in at the 6 marker? Swiss.
T from both sides, that means tritium, so it should
T Swiss T.
Yeah.
Tritium, what's probably maybe already done in the 90s or something, maybe.
Okay, so that's that.
Yeah.
Quickly, a couple more just to get through. Back onto Universal now. Universal Genève Space Compacts with original case and bracelet. The case was fully refurbished a couple of years ago and has been worn sparingly since. It's 40.5 mil, minor signs of wear. The universal sign movement is the valuations 72, which was the go-to movement at the time for the chronograph market. Original Gayfair bracelet, but the end links are missing and the seller's trying to source them. Comes with a 12-month warranty from a bricks and mortar dealer. Aluminium bidirectional bezel, and it's £13,500. So this is the vintage Universal Genève market. It's expensive. So there's the value 72 movement. There you can see the original,
Genève, but not that much.
There you can see the original bracelet. They can see the original bracelet. I mean, this Space Compacts, this watch, it wasn't adopted by NASA, but there's rumors that the Universal approached NASA during the time the Speedmaster was being adopted by NASA.
Yeah.
And there's rumors that Universal approached them with this watch. So it has a bit of history.
Far out.
I mean, Universal Geneva formed in 1894, opened their first shop in Geneva in 1919, created an automatic movement in 1925, and effectively created the first reverso years before JLT called the convertible. They launched the world's first ever two-pusher chronograph in 1934 and moved their headquarters into a building between Rolex and Patek Philippe. They associated themselves with motor racing with a tri-compact, and they're loved by collectors, and their style is loved by vintage watch wearers. And they're a very innovative and respected brand. I'm dying to see what they release when they get revived by Breitling. I hope they do stuff like this.
Yeah, I wanted to do stuff like that, like stick to the chronographs and the like the calendar watches that Universal brought out. They were really cool. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just pull up another Universal. This is the Universal Geneva Evil Nina Rins compact chronograph, 36.5 mil, caliber 130, value 72. All original, first series with applied logo and untouched hands. Case never polished. All parts factory finished. Different strap. Working well. Service recently in August 2024. One of the rarest versions produced by Universal Genève. Very collectible. Sold by a private collector. And Nina Rin is an 82-year-old Finnish former fashion model and was a Formula One racing personality, being married to racing driver Joachim Rins, who wore one of the Nina Rin chronographs and gave it to his wife, I believe. And the evil Nina Rin is this reverse panda model of the Universal Compacts chronos. Many find these vintage compacts chronographs beat vintage Daytonas on looks and were popularized when Hodinkee wrote an article on them in 2014. And the Panda version on a bracelet really does look beautiful and is a lot cheaper than a vintage Daytona. I'll just pull one of those up actually, just as our last watch. If you see the vintage one on this one on a bracelet, the vintage Panda, it looks stunning.
Yeah.
Now this is £26,912 or $34,993 from New York. And I really hope that the revived Universal Geneva will bring out chronographs like this. I think it's an absolute.
Me too.
Yeah, if they bring something like this for 15K, I would buy it. I think they will bring like a time-only thing with a micro rotor, maybe for 15K, and stuff like this for 30, 40, at least.
Yeah,
like limited
so
editions,
cool.
like that.
That's amazing. What was the previous one called, Thomas? The Nina Rins.
This is the Nina Rins.
Oh, this is it.
The reverse Panda was called the evil Nina Rins.
Evil Nina.
Evil
Who's
Nina.
Nina? Who's Nina Rins?
She's a model who was married to. She's 82 now. She's a Finnish former fashion model.
Right.
And was into Formula One racing personality. Who was married to a racing driver called Joachim Rins, who wore this watch.
Okay.
And gave it to her, and gave it to her, and she wore it, so she made it famous.
Okay.
More than the Daytona, at the time as much as the Daytona. on behalf of Universal Genève. He wasn't sponsored by them. It was just given as a present, like the Paul Newman was given
like I
to.
was just gonna say, just like Paul Newman with the Daytona, exactly.
Yeah, just like Paul Newman was gifted by his wife to his wife. So
I'll look her up now.
to him.
She hot? Nina Rint.
RINDT.
Rint. She wasn't. Not my cuppa.
That is JCB's basic criteria.
She wore some cool watches though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she was into these universals.
Yeah.
There's a panda one that's like just a white and black one as well.
Could you just pull up the what we're talking about, or get that ready to pull up, JCB?
Yeah, man, sure.
So that's our show so far for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please give a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We will be doing a show next fortnight because I'm at Watches and Wonders, but hopefully I might be doing a few Gonzo streams. We might be able to be fitting a couple of Gonzo streams. Got a few appointments with different watchmakers, and seeing some different watch brands, the HCI show, Watches and Wonders itself. Should be good. Glad you enjoyed it, Timely. Glad you enjoyed it. Great show,
thanks
guys.
for staying with us, guys. All the guys in the chat, and it was good.
Thanks for staying with us. Yeah, we'd just like to say, our usual panelist who's with us, Ben, he hasn't been with us today, and we'd just like to say that we'd like to pass our condolences on because his mother passed away on Tuesday, and we'd like to dedicate this show to his mother, Mary Wadding. Our sincere condolences go out to Ben and his family, and it's devastating when things like this happen to your family. And from the panel and us, we send our love and best wishes to his family and him, and hope to see him in a month or so when we do our next show. So Ben, I'm sure you know that we all send our condolences, and if you'd like to put a comment in the bottom of the chat of when the stream's finished, thank you, Asa. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, if you'd like to put a comment in the chat, please do.
Just thinking of you, Ben, and condolences to you and your family. Can't imagine what it's like losing your mum. So we're all just thinking about you, and just take it easy, man, and we'll catch up when you're ready. We'll come back. We're here for you, and look forward to catching up with you. But take your time, and just know that we're all thinking of you, mate.
Absolutely. My condolences, man.
And deepest condolences and sympathies to Ben's family. Just want you to know that we're all here for you. And during this difficult time, just take the time you need. That's the most important thing. Losing a parent or a loved one is never easy. But we're all behind you.
Absolutely. And, just we hope Mary's in a better place now. And, So, guys, that's it. That's that's it for us. Sorry to end on a sad note, but we'd like to dedicate our stream to Mary and her family. Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us, and take care. We'll see you next time. Take care.
See you guys.
Take care now.